This is Rene Kamstra, and I'm so excited to talk to you today because I want to tell you all about the best way to build rapport. So let me tell you one thing. One thing I've noticed in my 28 years of coaching is that everybody wants to get heard. But the biggest challenge that we have, or I should really call it a problem today, is that most people are just not good listeners. And you know what is interesting? Whenever I'm on stages, I always ask people, so who in this room think that they are good listeners? And you guess what? I promise you most of the room will actually have their hands up. And then I will ask a qualifying question. Does that mean when somebody talks to you, you never think of an answer? You are giving them your full attention. You are not trying to think about a comeback or telling your story. Yeah. So if I ask you now, are you a good listener? Would you actually say yes? Or would you say no? Because the percentage of good listeners in this world right now, and this was a study done on over 250,000 people, is 27%. Yes, 27% of people are good listeners. So, are you a good listener? Let me tell you a story. One day, one of my clients asked me to go and meet a friend of his, which was a billionaire. Obviously, I was really scared because it was the first time ever I was in the company of a billionaire. I came there and he introduced me and he left the room because he knew that there were some things that we needed to discuss. Well, one of the first things I did is I was starting to talk to this gentleman and I was asking him a lot of questions. And I was waiting to see what was really something that he loved. So what I started asking was, what is one of the projects that you love most? So that's a question you could really think about asking. Ask people, what are they most interested in? What do they love to do, right? And so he was telling me about golf. I don't know anything about golf. But what I did know and saw was that his eyebrows was raising and he was so excited. So I asked him the following question and write these words down. Tell me more. I'm telling you, that's all I needed to do. The rest, I sat back and listened to him because he was so excited to share all of these things with me. So about an hour and a half later, he looked me straight in the eyes and he said, Rene, this was most likely the best conversation I've ever had. And you know what went in my head? Maybe I spoke 15, 20, 25 words in an hour and a half? Well, what do I want to say with that? The king or queen of communication is listening. So hear me well. If you could listen about 15, or if you could listen 80% of the time and talk about 15 to 20% of the time, you will fall into the category of good listening. But then you really have to listen so that once the client is done, or once your friend is done, or your lover is done, you really know how to respond. Do you want to respond, or do you just want to listen? So take my advice and start testing this, because this will change your life. If you love what I just taught you and you know it's working, because I know that with no doubt in my mind, please share this with everybody you know and subscribe to our channel, because my promise to you is we will give you so much good information that you absolutely want to share and listen whenever there's a new video.